All right, I'm interested in meeting our main man here coming up next. I can see from the background, Voch Lombardi. That's a big league setup, Voch, you got there. Where are you, in Dallas, Texas?
I am currently in Houston, but I am a Cowboy fan by way of being a Cowboy fan my whole life. I was one of those guys. Hey, my whole family's a Cowboy fan, and I didn't want to be a Cowboy fan. I wanted to be a rebel. So I was like, hey, whatever team wins the championship the year I was born, 1992, whatever Super Bowl win in 1992, I'm going to be a fan of that team, and it was the Cowboys. So I just been covering them, with my fan passion. So pardon me
Yeah.
if I'm a little biased.
No, you've got some serious following, right? I mean, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, everything you got. What do you do on a weekly basis to keep people informed on the Dallas Cowboys?
I just do media in a non-normal media way. I'm not, put on a suit and talk like I'm TV guy, but I watch film, so I am, qualified. I play football, I coach football, so it's more than just a regular fan opinion. So when they see what I have to say, it is good information. But I got jokes, and I have general things to say that'll make you smile. So they put those two things together, and they just kind of follow me. I don't know why they follow me, but if they follow me, I'll keep giving them what they want.
Well, I can tell by talking to you just here for about a minute and a half. I understand why they follow you. You look like a football player, and you coached, and so you're actually breaking down, because I led in your intro before you came on. We have a cat named Zim Hude. I don't know if you know Zim Hude or who he is. He's a guy that follows everything, all Bengals. The guy's awesome. He lives in Baltimore, so he doesn't even live in Cincinnati. But he comes back for all the games and this and that. But you deliver watching game film, some analytics, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just some like super fan on raw emotions all the time. Is that accurate?
For sure. I definitely try to bring realistic analysis. Like, sometimes my Cowboy fanness gets in the way, but if it's not on film, then, I'm not going to say it. So basically, like if I come out and say something, hey, this is XYZ. And look, I hate fans. So I always come out and say, fans are emotional. Fans are in their feelings. Fans make up narratives. Fans believe what anybody will tell them. But if I'm saying something and then I put it on screen, hey, this is what happened and that's why it happened, then fans tend to kind of take my side on things. But, sometimes you get fans that'll watch TV and believe anything, but this is something about this YouTube thing to where you can basically do whatever kind of content you want, how you want it. You can say what you want. And, those fans typically get a better education on YouTube than they would on television in these 5-minute segments.
I agree with you 1,000%. And that's what we're doing our show on. So we're off the quote unquote legacy media train here with Off the Bench. Okay. Walk me through, since the Bengals have the Cowboys this week, walk me through coming into this season. And I was trying to explain to a lot of people who watch us, because I've had a chance through the years to broadcast many, 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 many Dallas Cowboys games. And being down there and the whole fandom all across the state, some people call them America's team all across the country. I'm not buying that so much anymore, but they have a great following. Going into the season, I thought they were a little bit arrogant in regard to their offensive line and their skill position players. Do you believe that's accurate?
For sure. And, going into it, I kind of understand what the Joneses were saying. I just didn't like how they planned it all out. I think as long as you have a dude at quarterback, you have a chance, right? So Dak Prescott is a guy that I consider a dude. But, as we see with, you can have Aaron Rodgers, the best quarterback of all time, but if you don't have wide receiver help, you don't have offensive line help, then it means nothing. But that doesn't mean that Dak's a bad quarterback. It doesn't mean that Dak can't get it done. It just means he needs a little bit of help. I don't mind moving on from Collins or Cooper or just some of the other guys that the Cowboys moved on from. I just don't like how we moved on from those spots, right? So, we moved on from La'el Collins. I don't mind that. What do we do to improve from our right tackle spot now? We move on from Amari Cooper. Okay, he's a dude that can get open by himself. He can win these one-on-one routes. He is a route running genius. But now we just kind of got James Washington, the dude that, didn't do much in Pittsburgh. And he's going to be the guy. Then he gets hurt. Then we're going to draft the dude, Jalen Tolbert, South Alabama, 3rd-round pick. He's not Amari Cooper right now. So what are we doing here? What are we going to do to fix this Amari Cooper deficiency? We're just going to bank on CeeDee Lamb and hope Dak Prescott can elevate the other guys. Dak Prescott can elevate guys, but he needs help to elevate guys. He can elevate a third receiver and make him, kind of decent to look at. Sure. He can elevate maybe a fifth guy, maybe a tight end. Dalton Schultz isn't the most talented guy in the world, but Dak Prescott can elevate him if there's an Amari Cooper and a CeeDee Lamb and a Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup's out till about week 4, by the way. So, yeah, it was very arrogant walking into this thing, just gambling that we can, replace a Pro Bowler with a third-round pick and some dude James Washington that most fans never heard of.
All right, so they start the game last night. Even with Dak in there, they looked awful on offense. Sure. So we move on from that. It doesn't matter because the biggest story, without a doubt, is that late in the game, Dak gets injured. They're saying he's going to miss anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. I asked James Rapine from Sports Illustrated a little while ago, do the Cowboys go all in on trying to go get a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo? What do you think they're going to do here now with this situation at quarterback?
As far as your Jimmy question, hell no. Can I cuss on your show? Hell
yes,
no.
Of course you can. I could care less.
Yeah, man, Jimmy's not – so – first of all, I think Jimmy's only Jimmy because of the offense that he's in and the coaches that he has and the cast that he has, right? We just had this conversation about if Dak can't do it with this supporting cast, then how can Jimmy do it? And then also, I think in order to get Jimmy, you would have to give up, I wouldn't say like a king's ransom. Jimmy ain't like one of these other guys. But, if you're going to get Jimmy, you're going to have to give up some type of draft compensation. If that's going to be the case, I'm not giving up big compensation for a rental. And Jimmy just got paid, and, Cowboys aren't in the business of paying people that didn't get drafted here. So, yeah, and my biggest hope and my biggest optimism, this is where my Cowboy bias get here. Dak is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Let's do everything we can to make that 6 weeks. And within that 6 weeks, we play teams like, the Washington football Wizards. I refuse to call them Commanders. We play the Giants, we play the Lions, the Bears. So hopefully, and look, I'm not even saying that we can.
But every one of those teams you just mentioned won yesterday.
Sure, but
come on now, come on. I mean, even with Dak in there yesterday for 3 quarters before he got hurt, I'm not sure that Cowboys team with him is an automatic win over the Wizards, as you say, from Washington, or the Giants, or who else did you say?
Wizards, Giants, Bears, Lions. Yeah.
Okay, Bears. I mean,
So and look, fair point on that, but this Cowboys offense versus that Buccaneers defense is going to be different than the Lions running into Philly or I don't know what happened with San Fran and the Bears yesterday. That was messy. But I do think in some of these head-to-head matchups, I do think Dallas is talented enough, though. We're not the number one offense that we once was. I'm not gonna lie and take that road. But the Texans scored 20 points yesterday. Jacksonville scored points yesterday. The Lions scored points yesterday. So you mean to tell me with the guys that we have, we can't score more than 3? I think this is more of a coaching problem here. And, Cowboy fans that are probably listening right now that are all over, Cowboy Nation, we're waiting on that. We've fired Mike McCarthy. Let's bring in Sean Payton. We're just waiting on that news. So I'm going to watch Monday Night Football tonight. And if Geno Smith can score more than 3 points, then you fire all of my coaches tonight.
Well, look, Geno Smith winning that job. I mean, that's a whole different topic altogether. All right, the Bengals coming down there this weekend. They lose their game yesterday in shocking fashion. Divisional game at home against an inferior team, at least as far as talent goes. I think they got out-coached. Tomlin's a big-time coach. But they're coming down, and now all of a sudden 0-1. I don't know if anybody even cares at this point that the Bengals are coming down because it's all Dak, right? So you don't expect them to go out and make any kind of a deal, whether it's a trade or signing somebody maybe as a free agent who's out there kind of floating around.
I think we're going to run with Cooper Rush, and you have to kind of weigh your options on this, right? The market of backup quarterbacks. It's not like Tom Brady sitting out there on the street. We just go get him. So the backup quarterback that you're going to get, think about who they are talent wise. So you take a guy like Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush isn't as talented, but at least he has continuity in this offense. At least he knows the guys. At least he knows, what we're trying to do offensively. You weigh that versus a guy like Cam Newton, who is washed in his own right, but he is a free agent quarterback that's out there. I would rather take the Cooper Rush that has run this offense for 4 years than a perceived talent advantage in Cam Newton coming in for the, for 5 games to try to turn this thing around. By the time it takes Cam Newton to really figure out what we're doing on the offense, Dak Prescott will be back. So like I said, those teams with the little bitty names that won games this week that I'm hoping that the Cowboys can beat over the next 6 games. If we lose 4 games, I say we because I'm a fan. If the Cowboys lose 4 games and Dak Prescott comes back and, we only have a total of 5, we make a run at the wild card. But hey, this is the super fan of me speaking. This is Voch Lombardi superfan. If we lose 7 or 8 games before Dak Prescott comes back, oh no, Dak Prescott, this hand injury was a little worse than I thought it was. Let's get the first overall pick and let's pair that dude with Micah, or let's get you some wide receiver help. There's going to be a lot of guys in the draft that we can use on offense, and let's just try all over again. I'm not in the business of salvaging that season. I would rather go 1-18 or 1-17 than to go like 8-9, and you don't make the playoffs, but your draft pick is like 16 or something. That's
right.
Not what I want.
Right. I got you. Okay. So you think the Bengals come down there and win this weekend?
Oh, 100%. And listen,
believe me, nothing's 100%, Voch. Nothing.
I almost fixed my mind to say, well, Joe Burrow throws the ball 4 times, we might be all right. But hey, y'all, the Bengals were able to almost come back and beat a team after Joe Burrow throws the ball and fumbled one. So, I don't think this is the case. If I can just give you a little more content for your show here, though, I do think there's something to this Cowboy defense kind of finding its flow and figuring itself out, right? This Tom Brady-led offense, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is nothing to sneeze at, and we held those dudes to 1 touchdown and a gang of field goals. Now, I'm not saying that, giving up 19 points to these dudes were perfect, but look at what our offense did, or the lack of what our offense did, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kept getting field position, favorable field position, and, we gave up some runs, and we'll probably clean that up over the course of the season. Mid-season form is a thing. I do think that this Micah Parsons thing is a real life thing. And if this defense can keep it close and, Cooper Rush isn't asked to do too much and Ezekiel Elliott maybe gets going in the run game, sure, it can be competitive, but you're not going to get Dallas is going to beat Cincinnati out of me.
Okay. All right. Before I let you go, I got to ask you, there in the backdrop, I can see a little bit of Phil Collins. I think that's a Phil Collins poster of some kind back there. Who's there next to Phil Collins? That's not Lionel Richie over there, is it? Who is that?
Next to Phil Collins is Kendrick Lamar right there.
Okay, Kendrick Lamar. Okay, what else you got in there? Who else you got in there?
Oh, man, we got the outlaw Josie Wales down here. Got Killmonger right there. I would call him Samuel Jackson, but that'll be disrespectful. That is Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction eating a big kahuna burger. You got a little Super Mario. You got a little Dragon Ball right there. You got rapper Nas, I love him, and you got Outkast from Atlanta. They're a rap group from Atlanta. They're fantastic as well. So a little bit of diversity here. Okay, I love it. I mean, you got it all across the board right there. That's big time. I try. All right, Buck, what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. No. It's just I have a personality that goes into a lot of places. That's why you can get Outlaw Josie Wales, Phil Collins, and Mario. But when my audience kind of tunes in, you're gonna get some 65-year-old man or some old guy like you and say, "Oh, I love Outlaw Josie Wales," but I have no clue what Dragon Ball is.
Wait. Did you just call me an old dude?
Some old man.
Some old man? Is that what you just called me, Voch? I mean, I just met you.
No, I said Clint Eastwood's an old man. And he's
you did not, Voch. We could turn back the tape. You say an old man like you is what
I am not backing out. The legend Thurman Brenneman is an old man.
Yeah, all right. I believe my wife tells me I'm an old man.
On his birthday.
Voch, you're good. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Voch, it's great having you on. Hey, I want to have you come back sometime if you don't mind. I'd love to have you come back and talk about what's going on in Big D, because a lot of people coast to coast care about what's happening down there in Dallas.
Sure, let's do it. I am, one of the Cowboy guys that people like, so I'm grateful for that. But I'm also a draft guy. So if y'all got some draft talk in the off season, contact me there. Hit me up. I'll be free.
We will. Voch Lombardi. Thanks so much, my
Appreciate
man. Hope all is well down in Houston. God bless you. When we come back, we'll do our cherry on top. That guy's a good dude. I like him. We got to get him back. Back in a minute.
Definitely.